talk about that and the mixture of Daemon, because I thought about this today, on the way on the way home. What?
I don't know if we should talk about Daemon right now.
I know, right? So one thing that I thought about, and we'll get into Daemon, but Daemon, if you think about it, Daemon put in motion of Aemond as king. Did you know that?
hmm Yeah.
With the whole blood and cheese,
Yep.
the and all he needed to do was have Aegon get hurt or whatever the case may be, which we got in episode 4. And to me, that's another reason why Daemon was even more pissed this episode and more like more just in a weird mood, you know what I'm saying? Is because he's the one who put him on the throne, and now he's pissed that he's not a regent or on the throne, and he wants to be that. He's telling people to call him king, not king regent. He says Helena, or excuse me, Rhaenyra will be ruling with him and not as equals, or as equals rather, and people need to pretty much get the fuck away and let me be king.
Yep.
So, and I want to say this too, because this is really, we always talk about how good this show is. Always talk about how good this show is, and we rarely have anything bad to say. But I will say the one thing that I'm very very pissed off about is him still being in Harrenhal.
Yeah.
I think we could have got the gist of what Harrenhal is and what it's about within one, possibly 2 episodes,
Yeah.
and we're getting it with 3, and it doesn't look like there's an end in sight, and I hope there is. But what's your overall thoughts on Daemon and him putting shit in motion for Aemon to be king? Just everything that's going on, because I'm not liking it, bro. I'm not having fun with him, and especially with Rhaenys had more battle time than he has in this season. Everyone has just been doing things besides him, and he's the one just taking on this. I'm gonna be king. I want to be king. I'm equal to Rhaenyra. Like it's not fun to watch, in my opinion. But I want to hear your opinion on this.
We know that Viserys first chose Daemon to be his heir.
Well,
Then,
technically, he didn't choose him. He was just the next
or
in
he was
line.
just next in
Yeah.
line. But Viserys said, you are my next heir or whatever. But then he chose Rhaenyra. She is not your equal now. In the eyes of your brother before he passed, you are not equals. She is above you because you can't handle being king. At least
Mhm.
what Viserys saw. Now you're stuck in this cuckoo house that you still apparently can't handle because you're doing the most wild things, and I mean wild, from what we saw this episode.
Oh man, I can't get over that scene, bro.
Like, I don't know what YouTube's discretions are, but we know what happened. If you watch the episode, you guys know what happened.
So real quick, because I want to make sure people understand this. Damon has no knowledge of what his mother looked like. So that scene when he pictured a woman that, because from what people are saying, that she didn't look like that, or they didn't describe her in the books like that to look like that. But if you think about it, that woman, there was no knowledge of what she looked like in Damon's head. They just happened to say that, and it looks like Alice is fucking with them, or something's happening. I don't think it's necessarily just Harrenhal. I really do think Alice Rivers is fucking with them in some kind of capacity, dude. Because it can't just be Harrenhal.
And she definitely is, because we know, because she brings her up. She brings up Damon's mother in the episode afterwards, after he does his deed with her. And she says, "Oh, it's something along the lines like, are you sad you didn't get to know your mother, or something like that?" And he's like, "What? Like, how do you know?" And he just had a dream about it. And again, bro, you're still going crazy. You're still sitting here. We know,
Becoming Bob the Builder.
yeah, right. We know Alice ain't real. We know this because
Yeah, I want you to talk about that real quick though. So
Alice
talk
isn't
about the
real.
scene. Talk about the scene that we saw.
When we see him talking to her, when his hands are all blistered from digging again, what
Or
are you
cutting the
doing?
wood.
Why are
Cutting the
you
wood.
working? First
Yeah.
off, you're in this cuckoo house and you're not doing things you need to be doing for your own team to get into power. And then you're talking to Alice Rivers, who is telling you this is what's going on. Like I can hear wind and crying and screams from beyond because you sent people out to go do your dirty work again,
Yeah.
and it didn't end up well again. And now someone else comes in the room to talk to you, Sir Simon. Alice walks behind him and just disappears. She doesn't
Nowhere to be
continue
found.
on behind him down the stairs, disappears. Sir Simon actually walks in the room and looks her direction, but keeps staying in that same direction as she passes. He don't see her. She's not really there. He is still crazy in his head, and I really want Simon to say something to him like,
Who the
"Are you
fuck are you
like
talking
who are
to,
you
bro?
looking at, bro? Like, who are you talking to?" Because and there's no way everybody's walking around him and thinking he's talking to somebody, and there's nobody around. Because
Yeah.
I know you see one guy actually pass in front of Daemon in this scene, and the guy just keeps walking, but Damon's talking. So I'm like, do you think he's just not talking to you, bro, or are you seeing Alice too? And the thing for me is, are we gonna get an explanation of Harrenhal if everybody else is seeing crazy shit too,
Yeah,
or
I
is it
know.
just him?
That I really need to hear, because like we could speculate all we want, but we're never gonna know until they tell us exactly. Like Damon has to come out and say, "Do you see this person, or are you watching this? Like, do you experience the shit?" Like, we need to be able to see that within this episode, or within the show, at least
Right.
season 2, before he leaves Harrenhal, because I think it's ridiculous, for one, that he's still there. Don't get me wrong, guys. You know how much we love this show and we talk good about the show, but we're not going to like everything, and this is that one thing that we dislike within this show, or at least I'll speak for myself, that I dislike from this show, and
Uh,
it's unfortunate.
I mean, as